Are you showing up the way you know you can? Hi, babes. Welcome back to the Chase Life with Kelly podcast. I am your host, Kelly Chase. We are going to talk about my mold situation. If you've been following along on social media, I've been sharing a little glimpses here and there of this that I was diagnosed with mold in my body, but also in my house. That's usually why you have mold in your body is because of mold in your home. And it's been a very interesting um experience. Also, I'm a little cold. I'm a little cold. I have a bit of a virus, whatever. I'm coming out of being sick. So when you're listening to this, if I sound a little nasally, if I start coughing, that is why. But yeah, so earlier, let's just like back it up. And I want to share this because I know that it can help so many people right now. I don't think that it's talked about enough, and it is a more and more common thing. And I don't understand why exactly, but I have some hypotheses, I guess, around it. Also, if you are watching the video right now, I'm just gonna call it the elephant in the room. There is a sore right under my nose from blowing my nose so much. That happens to me. I don't know if anybody else gets that, but they get sores when it's just like constant rubbing with Kleenexes. So excuse that. Try to cover it up a little bit with makeup, but it's not working. It kind of just looks like a shadow online, so that's cool. But anyways, okay, so let's see. Earlier, well, May of 2024, um, I had a friend visit, and you guys know that I try and stay away from like gluten, dairy, corn, a lot of allergen foods I try and stay away from just because I went on an elimination diet years ago. I didn't do it correctly, and I eliminated those foods for too long. Balance is everything. So I, yeah, anyways, I have a lot of intolerances and sensitivities to particular foods, probably more than the average Joe, because I never healed my gut really. And although I eliminated, I also was drinking alcohol heavily. And so I probably there wasn't enough food in my body to probably soak up all the alcohol. So burned holes in my intestinal lining. Anyways, that said, 2024 came around May, and I had a bunch of like avocado toast this one weekend because I was like, oh my gosh, this tastes so good. I just wanted to have it, and I don't eat sourdough bread very often because I have a gluten sensitivity. So, and even I don't know, good quality or bad quality doesn't matter. But I had it, and I noticed I got rashes under my armpits after having that. And so I was like, okay, had to be the gluten. Cool. So, yes, it definitely, when I stopped eating the gluten again, it certainly went away. But then over the last year, I have consistently had the rash issue. So I was like, okay, well, I haven't been like 100% with like maybe not eating dairy and things like that. So it was just like thing after thing after thing. I'm like, what is it? I don't really understand what it is. And it would like go away for like it did go away back in 2024. It went away for a little while. My doctor gave me some like ointment and it went away. But then it came back over the last year. Anyways, back in like January, February, I was feeling just, I'm like, why am I bloated? All like, not necessarily like super bloated, but I would get bloated, just like digestive issues, gut issues, all the freaking time it feels like. And I'm like, I eat so healthy. If I eat like one fucking cookie, I it's as if I ate like a whole bowl of beans. Like it just sucks. And so I was like, plus I was like feeling fatigued and just like really run down. So I went to the doctor. We did determine at that point that I had minor leaky gut, of course. I think it was then. Maybe it was recent. No, I think it was like back then. I had minor leaky gut. And then, some like deficiencies here and there, some hormonal stuff going on. And she gave me a handful of supplements, took the supplements. I actually was feeling a lot better. Over this last year, 2025, I have reduced my alcohol consumption. I know that it's not good. It's an addiction, guys. I mean, at the end of the day, it is like I say this I say it is an addiction because I don't think it's good for you to do, but we started at such a young age that it is like it's just the thing to do, right? Or it was. It has been a thing to do. It's like everything revolves around drinking, all of that. And now I am in such a more intentional space and just a, you know, more aligned with who I want to become and everything that, and I don't want to be unhealthy. So I have scaled back from drinking. I did go about a little over 2 months without drinking recently, particularly because of the mold stuff going on in my body, and it just doesn't help it at all. Anyway, so these supplements kind of ran their course. I ran out, I never re-upped them. Um, and I started feeling like crap again. But now this time I was starting to get like hives on my chest. And if you can see the video, you can see a little bit of like red marks on my upper chest, right underneath my neck. Yeah, it's hives. And continuous rash under the arms. It does go away here and there. It is definitely like food dependent for sure. Depends on what I do eat, or like a high stress level or something like that. But um, so anyways, I was having like chronic fatigue, like very, very tired. It was hard for me to get up in the morning to go to my workouts. And by the end of the day, I'm just like super exhausted. So just really tired. And I was having slight brain fog. I've had, besides the hives and the rash, I was also having, like basically the rash and the histamine is, or I mean, the hives is from a histamine reaction. So basically, eating higher histamine foods like avocado, ding, ding, ding. Last year, May of 2024, I had the avocado toast. So it was like a combination of the gluten and the avocado, which I think was bothering me. And why that rash never really went away over this whole last year and a half was because I continued to eat avocado. I just never pinpointed it because I'm like, avocado is so healthy for you. Didn't think about it. Um, and I would have like a quarter of an avocado like every day or every other day or something. So again, I just didn't think anything of it, especially if I had like a piece of cheese or some queso or some chips. Like, I was probably exposing myself to other things that I'm intolerant to. So, yeah, high histamine foods are just creating these reactions. I was also like having shortness of breath and like anxiety, feeling very claustrophobic. Like even like just sitting here in this shirt, I would feel like, oh my God, I gotta get the shirt off. But like nothing. I was like, I'm not stressed about anything. So those types of symptoms were happening. And anyway, so I went back to my functional medicine doctor, and yeah, y'all, I am a really big believer in functional medicine. I also am a big believer in Western medicine. I think there's a time and place for both. I appreciate, and maybe it's my health coaching background, maybe it's my background growing up that I was raised in a very holistic household, and we don't just go to prescription right away, like chemical prescriptions. In Western medicine, I do think that getting to the root cause of anything is what is really going to heal and cure. Um, so. That's why I try in the functional medicine route first, and then I'll go to Western medicine later. Anyway, so working with this functional medicine doctor, go to her again, explain all my symptoms. I was like, okay, when I came back in February, January, February, it's like that, but like worse now. And I'm experiencing all these other things, the hives, the shortness of breath, the anxiety, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, it sounds like you have mast cellular activation syndrome. MCAS is what they abbreviate that to. And I was like, okay. I said, but cool, maybe I do. I said, but I want all the tests. I want all the tests. I don't care how much it costs. I just want y'all to run the test because I'm sick and tired of like guessing and experimenting. And although yes, it may have just been MCAS and you may have just had some put me on some supplements to help support that, but I also felt like there was something underlying too. So anyways, I advocated and I was like, I want a Dutch test down, which is basically like a full hormone panel, like really, really deep dive into your hormones. So Dutch test, a Lyme disease test, an autoimmune test, and a mold test. Those four. I really wanted to do those. And anyway, so get my results back a month later, and sure as shit, guys, mold, Lyme, autoimmune, and some of my hormones, which I knew those were going to be a little bit off. They weren't actually too bad though. Cortisol was like where it's always is, which is kind of heightened for me. And I think there was some other one or two other like hormones that were off, and I don't really remember, but I just, anyways. So the Lyme disease and the autoimmune Epstein-Barr is what I had. Those are dormant in my body. So at some point, luckily they're not active. So that's good. Luckily they're not active, but because of the mold in my body that they discovered, that could be like activating some of the symptoms that are like present because of Lyme or autoimmune. So, with that said, it's just been a pain in the butt. It's been a pain in the butt, but I don't want to make this too long of an episode because you feel free to reach out to me if you have particular questions, but to continue on this journey, of course, then getting that information from the doctor, recognizing, and she was like, "Oh, I really didn't think you were going to have mold. I really didn't think you would have had Lyme either." And I'm like, "Oh my God." But basically, and also I told my parents about the Lyme disease and they were like, "You've never been bit by a tick." And I'm like, I know. But then now that I've done research, it's basically like this really, really tiny, tiny tick and you don't even know that you're bit. So apparently sometime or along the journey of Kelly Chase, I was bit by a tick. So anyways, but yeah, it's dormant, so whatever, that's fine. I just, I'm lucky that I eat so healthy. And it is one choice, but two, it's just discipline at this point. I mean, I don't want to feel like crap, and so I eat a particular way so I don't feel like crap. When I eat certain things, I don't feel very great. And that is a lot of the autoimmune in there. So, and she said auto Epstein-Barr, it comes from like mono. So I may never have had mono, but my mom could have. Someone at school could have. I could have like taken a drink after someone at school when I was 10 years old and got mono or carried it and then it turned into Epstein-Barr, blah, blah, blah. Who knows? But anyway, so very educational of a process too that I've been going through. But anyway, so then from there, I was like, okay, now we got to call the like a mold remediation company, have them come and test things and yada yada. So we have been working with mold and HVAC companies that particularly deal with mold. And yeah, sure as heck, as soon as they came into my house, they went straight to the HVAC system, the air filter, pulled that out, and the coiling behind the HVAC, like not the HVAC, the on the handler on the HVAC system itself, where you pull the air filter out, the coiling all had like mold and growtiness on it. And then so the guy was like, it's probably in your air ducts too. So we could either like replace them or give them a really deep clean. So that's where we're at with that. And then we went into like he went into every single room. He was like, your carpet in your bedroom needs to be replaced. I was like, well, it's been here for more than 14 years because I've lived in my condo for 14 years, 14 and a half years. So he was like, yeah, we need to get rid of that because even if it doesn't have mold in it, it has like particulate matter, which dirt, dust, dust that might be binding to some mold particles, from the air. So that said, um, we then went into like my little laundry room, which you can't like even walk into. You just like open the doors and the machines are right there. We looked behind them, and sure as heck, there's like this black, purpley, cream colored long, like foot and a half thing of mold eating into my wall. And I was like, oh my God, there's like a purple monster growing out of my wall. So we don't know exactly, like it has to be dripping behind, something's got to be dripping behind it because the front side, like there's nothing hanging, like there's nothing right there that that could be coming from. So it's got to be behind the wall. So we're gonna have to like cut a hole in the drywall, replace that, figure out like what's going on behind there also. Um, but anyways, so those were visible spots of mold, and again, it's just probably in the air. So God knows how long I've been breathing that stuff in, and maybe my digestive issues have been what they've been these last handful of years because of the fact that I've had mold, and just like over time, my body is just like, I just can't anymore. Like this is hard. It's I'm struggling, but then the crazy thing is like I've been in my place for 14 years. So and I've had digestive issues for a while. So who knows? Like it's not like a year ago I just started having, well, I mean, technically, yes, I did start having symptoms that were worse than before, but like digestive issues, gut issues altogether, I've had those for a little while, for a while. So, but they're just never really getting better. So, anyways, I feel like basically your body just starts to shut down. Like your immune system's like, okay, enough is enough. I can't try to attack this mold anymore. So now I'm surrendering and here we go. It has a lot to do what I've read and what I'm understanding is that it is a lot about nervous system regulation. So, and even what the mold guy told me was that he's like, there's mold everywhere. Like, literally, there is mold everywhere. And probably everyone listening to this, maybe unless you just moved into somewhere completely brand spanking new, like they just built the place, there's going to be mold. So, yeah, I would highly suggest that test your air for mold just in case. Not that I want you to go spending all this money on mold remediation or anything like that, but it could be, let's say, if you are feeling a little fatigued, consistent digestive issues, brain fog, chronic issues like chronic pain or anything like that, neurological disorders, things like that could be because of mold. So I don't know. I'm just saying this could be an option. And if you're never aware of mold toxicity, here you are listening to this. So I just I would rather share this than gatekeep it and you constantly be going to the doctor and be like, why? And then come down the line, you check your house, you check your body for mold, you do the test. It's a urine test, by the way. So a urine test, it's a mycotoxin test. Mycotoxins is how they determined if you have mold in your body. Um, Black mold is obviously the worst. I do have black mold in my body. But yeah, but the mold guy said, it's everywhere. It's just who is more susceptible to it. It's again, your body just kind of is like, enough is enough. I can't fight you anymore. So then all these symptoms start to present themselves. And the normal, like what I say, quote unquote, in like Western medicine, where they're like, oh, mold, that could be like asthma, coughing. It sounds like you have like sinus issues, but it is a lot more. I've listened to other podcasts where other humans have had mold toxicity and about their symptoms and like what they've done about it. And some of it, like I said, is chronic pain. Like your body aches. It hurts. Severe brain fog that you like don't remember things. It's hard for you to articulate sentences. I don't have that, thank God. And my house wasn't like, it's not crawling with mold, right? But there's mold in my house. So, the research that I have done about the nervous system stuff is like basically there is a very spiritual component to it. Like if you are pushing and pushing and pushing and you're grinding and you're burnt out and um you aren't processing your emotions. And although I try to presence my emotions a lot, especially because I'm in this healing space, right? But I'm sure that there's a lot that's been suppressed. I'm sure that I can continue to suppress some things. If I'm just like not in maybe I get like this pit in my throat and I really want to cry about something, but I'm like in the grocery store and I don't cry, so I suppress it. I like swallow the pit and then like 5 minutes later I'm completely fine. It's a defense mechanism. It's the body keeping you safe, but the body is keeping score in all of that as well. And when it does that, it's actually not, it's creating more dis-ease and harm in your body than anything. So, um, I have bypassed emotions a lot. I know that I have not been as expressive as I would like to be. This platform, my podcast, it gives me that creative outlet to express myself and share things and hope create some impact and just touch someone's life. I mean, to me right now, I'm looking at myself on a computer, right? But I know that there are people's listening. And I'm so grateful for all of you who listen and tune in weekly and share it with your friends and family and coworkers and all that. And if you haven't, but you really enjoy the show, please do that. I That's what helps it grow. And it's like being real with you guys, like being honest with you, like telling you where I'm at and any type of struggle that I'm going through because it could help someone. And maybe you don't resonate with this episode, or you may not resonate with 10 of my other episodes, but something may spark something inside of you that just shifts a little something for you to that alters the course of your life. So that's why I'm doing this. But Yeah, but I think just really stuck energy, feeling stuck and that and guys, this whole past year I have kind of felt that way. But it's like the last couple years, it's like I am showing up in the way that I want to be, but I'm also holding myself back. And I know that I presenced that on the show, episodes back, like episodes ago. Um, like Yeah. And I'm working on something right now. Like I'm gonna relaunch coaching because that is what I was stifling. I recognize that I was, I stopped coaching about a year and a half ago. And at the time I was like, okay, I'm just gonna kind of like pivot and like rearrange some things and then start coaching again. But I was like, maybe that's not the avenue for me. And I really had to get clear about things. And that's okay, guys. As an entrepreneur, that's a cool, amazing thing. You can start and stop whenever you want. But granted, you got to get the consistency again. And I finally feel like I'm like there. And it's neat because I do have people that reach out to me. And at first, it was kind of triggering for me because they would be like, who are you to talk about this? Like, who are you to talk about money when you don't even have like the desired bank account? Who are you to talk about love and relationships when you aren't even in one? Who are you to talk about success when you still work a 9 to 5 job? Guys, first of all, I have redefined success so many times. Like, I am so fucking successful. I am really successful. Like, who are you to tell me if I'm successful or not? I've made over $100,000 this year, in my 9 to 5. So I'm extremely proud of myself for all the effort that I put into that, growing my business in that regard, in my 9 to 5 business, because it is run like a business. I have my particular accounts and clients and all of that. And I have so much love that I look at love in a different way. Like yes, I don't have a romantic relationship. I'm not in a partnership with someone. However, I have so many great friends and I keep meeting people that are more and more aligned to me. My social networks are wonderful. And I'm even looking to level up a little bit more in my social network. Just connecting with all the right people that make me feel good 100% of the time. And like I said, I am gonna relaunch coaching. It's not gonna be just health coaching. And I'm really excited about it. It is about becoming the person that you want to become, becoming her. And we are gonna talk about the money mindset, the relationships, love and dating, business, career, burnouts, boundaries, as well as health. So there's going to be a handful of things that are going to address. And basically, guys, I'm living it. I am living this. I'm a couple of steps ahead of some people, but I am living it. I am in the journey of creation, and we all are really, but I'm in the journey. And I think that that is success. When you are in the journey of it and you can recognize that the journey is what life is all about. If you're constantly looking for the end of things, the end game, the result, you're never going to be happy with where you're at. And I am. I'm really happy. Like, knock wood. If anything happened to me tomorrow, like, I'd be like super satisfied. Like, I'm so happy. I've been on a cover of a magazine. I've been on TV. Like, I've watched runway shows. Like, I've done a lot of things. And I am just so fucking grateful that I get to call this my life. And I know that it is because I have said yes to a lot of the right things that are going to move the needle forward to me, and I've said no to a lot of the things that would not move the needle forward for me. So I think that with this mold diagnosis, that it is just my body was again like, I surrender. Like, shit or get off the pot, Kelly. Like, it's time. We have held ourselves back long enough. We have suppressed long enough, and now it's fucking time to fly. And excuse my French, but that's where I'm at. And I know that me just being creative and authentic and unapologetic about who I am, what I want. I've had some interesting, friendship dynamics this year as well. I don't know, there has been a wedge between a couple of friendships that I've had. And they didn't agree with who I am. They don't agree with what I said, how I responded to certain things, and that's okay. I'm not responsible for how people perceive me. I know that I am, I know that my heart is good and I have really pure intentions. And, maybe if I am not the nicest people pleaser all the freaking time, that it might rub someone the wrong way. Kelly Chase fucking finally has a backbone. Like, oh my God. Like, I haven't had a backbone in a long time, if ever. So I don't know. I just think that maybe not everyone is for you for the rest of your life, and that's okay. But I hope that, you know, anyways, I'm never gonna speak anymore to that. But you got to say yes to you and the life that you desire and what feels good on your heart and know that you are doing the right thing. As long as you keep saying yes to good, yes to good, yes to what God is placing on your heart, yes to what God is putting in your soul. You do have a story, you do have a message, you can share it. Just like this, guys, like start a podcast. Just go on Facebook Live, go on Instagram Live, and just start talking to your audience. And you're like, I don't even have an audience. Well, you do. You do. If you have people, even if 10 people follow you on Instagram, like just start talking to them. And you can, your first video can literally be like, hey, I have no idea what I'm doing. This is the first time I've ever done a live, and this scares me crazy. Like I am so scared right now. I'm so nervous. And that could be your video. And then you go on the next day and you're like, you know what, guys, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Or yeah, it was still scary, but I got to do this because I know someone out there needs me. We are servants of God. Like be in service. So I hope that today's episode was helpful for you. Check out the mold stuff. I really and check yourself, audit yourself. Are you showing up the way you know you can? Are you suppressing emotions? Are you suppressing your creativity? Are you not truly fulfilling what God has put you on this earth to do? And anyway, so I will continue to be creative. I will suppress less and I will continue to regulate my nervous system with breath work, with just presencing tension in my body, presencing how I'm feeling in my body, doing a lot of somatic practices so that I can heal from this, because it is going to take the removal of the mold from my house for sure, but also centering and nervous system regulation and repair for me. And of course, yeah, I'll probably take some supplements to like get rid of the mold in my body. But at the end of the day, it comes down to nervous system regulation, and that is with everything in life. So I know that regulating my nervous system is not only going to help with this mold situation, but it is also going to help with my creativity and my success, my future success, and my love life as well. So everything is connected. And yeah, like I said, if you have any specific questions, please reach out to me. You can always DM me on Instagram. But again, thank you for following, liking, loving the show. Um, yeah, I love you guys. I might take a break during Christmas. I'm not sure. But anyways, happy holidays. Merry Christmas, happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, all the things. Whatever you celebrate, just happy holidays, happy New Year. Like I will probably take a little break and then come back after the new year. But I love y'all so much. Thank you so much. And let's continue to raise our vibration together by being creative and letting God work through us. All right. Happy holidays. Bye, guys.